It's such a great honor to be able to raise funds for Living Beyond Breast Cancer organization.
Yes, thank you, Renee, very much for helping us to organize this event. It's for a beautiful cause, and it's always our pleasure to help people.
Wow, that was so much fun, guys. And welcome to MUSES, the podcast where we celebrate women. Not only is it about us inspiring each other, but we know empowered women know truly how to empower each other. So thank you so very much for joining us. I'm one of your hosts, Renee Noor, and we are looking so forward to welcoming two of our incredible guest hosts today. Not only we have the one and only Miss Shirley, we also have Miss Crystal Trimack, and both of these phenomenal ladies are veterans in the Army. They have been able to serve the country, and we're so excited to have both of them that's going to be joining us, because what we're going to be discussing today is about Sheroes among us, and not only are we going to welcome Miss Shirley. How are you doing today, Shirley, as well as Miss Crystal, and how are you doing today? How are you ladies doing today?
Wonderful. Amazing. Amazing. Thank you for having us.
Yes. Well, we know it's so powerful, guys. We're wrapping up another month of July. I don't know about you, but hasn't it gone by really fast?
For sure. Absolutely.
I mean, it was like I was just putting on my lashes in July 1st, going to New Orleans. And it's like, what? Are we saying goodbye to July already? So I'm looking so forward to August. I guess that's how we have to embrace it, right, ladies?
Absolutely. 1 month at a time.
1 month at a time, I know. Well, I want us to just kind of like delve into so many great things that's taking place. Before we do that, we always like to make sure we introduce, the cast. So feel free, Shirley, to introduce yourself, as well as Crystal, introduce yourself. And I know we probably have one of our special last year honorees is going to be joining us for this segment with us to talk about Miss Mary Martin. We're going to talk about current affairs and things that's taking place, and also recognizing some of those sheroes that have definitely impacted and changed our lives. But before we do that, Shirley, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Absolutely. So good afternoon, everybody. My name is Shirley Baez. I am a 20-year retired U.S. Army Special Operations veteran. I am an entrepreneur, an author, a coach, a speaker, and a multifamily investor. I am the CEO and founder of Leadership Academy, and one of the partners for Leaders Edge Academy. So as you can see, everything for me revolves around leadership and growth and leading not only yourself, but your communities and others. So thank you for having me today.
Absolutely. And then we have our very own Crystal.
Yes, I am Crystal Trimack. I am an Army retired disabled veteran. I am also a speaker, coach, and author. I help women and veterans empowered to their next level in their careers, better health, and also to not leave that tax-free money on the table with our benefits. And I am the CEO and owner of Resourcefully Chris, and just so many other things. I appreciate you always having us here, having the opportunity to speak. Thank you.
Absolutely. And for those who don't know, I'm Renee Noor, grateful to be a visionary within, not only with the GW3LIVE, but also with the Global Women Wealth Wars, the MUSES, the podcast. This is a way for us to not only come together and collaborate, but also to shine a spotlight on those that really do inspire us. We've been bridging the gap between financial literacy and health and wellness right across the globe. Whether we're in Africa, London, Dubai, or right in the United States, we are truly very proactive in making a constant difference in changing lives. And, we're so excited about one of the most current affairs, ladies, of what's taking place with this whole vice president and president race. I don't know about you guys. Let's get you guys back on the set. Let's talk about it, okay? Let's indeed talk about it. What was your take on Joe Biden making an announcement that he is stepping down, our president? I got to give him respect. The president, Joe Biden, stepping down, and that's giving the opportunity for our very own vice president to presume or even be selected to become president. How did that make you guys feel, knowing that it's a female, Miss Kamala Harris?
So I will say that that is one of the things I love the title, Women Breaking Barriers and Shattering Glass Ceiling. So that couldn't be a better way to segue into that. I will tell you that I didn't get the immediate news. I was actually at a brunch and had not been paying attention to my phone, which, something we don't often do. So my phone was down for like 4 hours, just sitting on the table. I hadn't picked it up or thought anything about it. I went to the car, opened the phone, and I had like 20 some odd messages on my phone. And I'm like, hey, what's going on? And so I called the person I was at brunch with, and I'm like, hey, this is what's going on. I just want to let you know. So we missed we covered a lot of things, but we did miss a lot of things during that time. But I think that it's phenomenal to, one, have the opportunity of a woman to potentially represent this country. And no, she's not the first one to run. We are in a different position now. And so just like when President Barack Obama ran, people didn't think that he might do it. This is another unprecedented time. So, and for her to be a woman of color, that's the cherry on top. And so it is great news, regardless of where you stand on either side of things, to know that we are doing something in history that's never been done before. And so I'm excited to give the opportunity and the respect to the office and have someone come in and shake some things up. We've been running this country looking a certain way for a whole lot of years. So someone else can come in with a fresh perspective and take their opportunity and have the woman's hand, because we know we drive a lot of things behind the scene, in front of and behind the scenes. So it's just a wonderful opportunity to see where this goes. So I'm excited.
Absolutely. And what about you, Shirley?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I wouldn't say that I was very surprised. I think it was the natural thing to do, the natural choice, absolutely, given our environment now with with our current president being a little frail, right? That brought a lot of concern into a voter's mind and into the citizens, right? But I was so pleased to see that for once they're giving an opportunity to women to show what we're made of, to show our leadership skills, to handle tough situations geopolitically and social and in society, right? And so I was very, very pleased to see the first woman running and really igniting a group of young people, of aspiring leaders in the environment to aspire for more and to look up to someone that can actually address their issues and they can relate to. So I was very, very pleased.
Absolutely. And thank you, ladies, for sharing your insight. I was so excited. I was like, I'm not even a politician. I'm just letting you guys know. And I was just like, whoa, this is how we really get a different perspective on how the world needs to be ran. We already know, thanks to Beyonce, when who run the world? Girls. She definitely come out, with helping us to stay empowered in that space. But I will say this too, like what you said, Shirley, watching our leader being frail, falling, it just really wasn't a positive look for the world, or even for the United States. And so realizing, you know what, I've done everything that I possibly can. That took a lot of courage. It really took a lot of courage. And I'll say this as well, because sometimes we can get into our feelings, right? And we have to realize sometimes it's the importance of when to go head on and allow the others to take lead. And I'm so grateful that he allowed Kamala to take the lead. But let's talk about it. How did he get there in the first place? Oh, yeah. President Barack Obama. Oh, yes, yes, yes. And I mean, it's just amazing how we're just building up with just really keeping in alignment of changing the trajectory of how we really want this world to just do some more amazing things of being able to impact the community right across the globe. And you know, it's not going to be easy, but we know for sure we're working towards building it towards excellence. And so thank you, ladies, for just sharing your intake on that. You know, we are women, and we know empowered women know how to empower. So I want to ask you all, you know, I know earlier we were talking about this and praying it forward one of our rooms that we do in the clubhouse. What woman inspire you? Who have been there that truly have been a woman that inspired you? And if you don't mind sharing with us why, I think it'd be great for the viewers today.
I can go on this one. So, as we were talking earlier, there are several women, of course, that have inspired me. Especially now, the first woman command sergeant major of U.S. SOCOM, which is Special Operations Command. She's been the very first one, right? And she's been looked now in a microscopic way, right? Because it was always led by men. And now that we have a woman leading a multitude of soldiers, they're looking at it closely to see how she leads, right? But one of the women that I would say have inspired me, especially in my business and what I'm doing now, is the retired Brigadier General Becky Halstead. And she was the very first woman that graduated West Point. I mean, West Point is a prestigious school for officers, and not a lot of people get into that, especially also women. And she was the very first one to graduate. She wrote this really great book that inspired me when I was leading others, called 2407, The First Person You Must Lead Is You. And so my mantra is always you have to learn how to lead yourself before you lead others, right? So we have to do good self-leadership, good reflecting, good understanding of ourselves in order for us to understand the landscape and the environment in which we work in. And so she was the very first one that I started looking towards. And what I loved about it is that leaders are people that reflect a lot. Also, you've seen in the Roman era, people like Julius Caesar, they were people that meditated. They were people that reflected on a constant basis, and everything that they reflected upon, they wrote, right? And that's how she got to put together her book, is through her reflections and the values that she upheld to when she was leading others. And so she's one of the ones that I look up to.
Phenomenal. Well, thank you for asking. And truly, she has that resilience, the strength, and as we're talking about right today, not only breaking those breaking barriers, those glass ceilings, but continuously leading others, such as yourself. So thank you for sharing. Crystal?
So, like Shirley said, there are so many women, and so I would be remiss to name just one, but I will say, as a track and field person through and through, when I was growing up, who I would love to look to was Gail Devers, Jackie Joyner Kersey, Flojo, and all of those women. And then I came into the military, and I was a Army medical officer. I was a medical service corps officer, and General Nadia West getting into position and becoming a general, that was amazing. So to see strong women show up and go into positions where no one else has been before and see them do amazing things. So that's showing discipline, that's showing leadership, that's showing dedication and determination, no matter what it is that's going on behind you. Because so many people like to think that when someone's showing up in front of you and they look like they have it all together, there clearly cannot be something going on behind the scenes. But we know that that couldn't be further from the truth. There's always something going on, especially for women, because we wear so many different hats. So I am inspired by so many women. I have a very, very good friend that I ran track and field with in high school, and she was selected as the chief for our fire department, Fairfax County. So she's the first Black woman in this position. I'm so proud of her, and I just love to see all the things that's happening. So there are so many women that I could just go on for days and days, but anyone that's showing up with resilience, anyone that's showing up with determination, dedication, and discipline, those are the women that I look to and find that they have done so much and sacrificed so much for us. So depending on the era, depending on the arena, You can touch so many women. Of course, we know Harriet Tubman, Shirley Chisholm. You can just go on and on and on. There are some Angela Davis. Pick someone. There are so many people that have done some very phenomenal things. So I'm just happy to be a part of that number and being a part of the league of those that have gone before me and are out here doing amazing things. So thank you for the question.
Absolutely. I'm like, what you guys right here we're talking about as well. Like you said, Crystal, alongside with Shirley, there's so many. There's a plethora of phenomenal women. Just like you said, pick and choose. Harriet Tubman alongside with our very own Oprah Winfrey. No matter what the one has to say, good, bad, or indifferent, these ladies have not only paved the way, they've broken glass ceilings that they never even had anybody to even give them a blueprint. They were the blueprint, And so not only is it important for us to raise, as I said, give them their flowers, but also, I think there's over like 30 of them that you go down the list. It's like, I still haven't named all of them. I mean, even with today, we were talking about Nina Simone. Now, my goodness, I think that was Carrie that mentioned Nina Simone when it comes down to music, as well as when it just comes down to back then, they were not even respected just because of how they showed up with that beautiful skin. And we have so much to be grateful for in our season right now. And so it is important for us not only to acknowledge phenomenal women. I'm going to go even deeper into one of those ladies that have totally transformed the sport entertainment industry. Now, there's several of them, right? We know Simone is one alongside, but I'm going to go with Serena Williams. So I'm going to take Serena Williams right now. I'm going to talk about Simone, but with Serena Williams and her sister, because to me, you can't say Serena without saying Venus as well. Think about these young ladies right there, grew up in Compton. Their father poured so much into them. And not only that, he made sure that they always knew not only are you going to stand out, you're going to be different, and it's not going to be easy. So let's go ahead on and build up and have that tough skin now, but you're going to be disciplined. He showed them a great amount of discipline alongside with being able to be comfortable in the skin that they were in.
Oh, yes.
Being able to be comfortable in that skin. Not a lot of us understand that. And being those chocolate girls, that's right, chocolate girls with that beautiful glow, it just proud me to see how Serena now, mother, taking ownership of her beautiful daughter and just doing so many other great things. Now, Simone Biles, that's a whole nother situation right there. 4'8", I had to say that even earlier today. The power and the strength that she has, my God. I don't even ever recall her making a mistake, guys. I'm going to be honest with you. That's how much excellence she put into not only owning up for what it is that she knows she's doing. She has such a great heart. And what I love about her, after she finished each one of her competitive moments, she goes right back to her community. She goes right back to her team and she encouraged them. So there's so much more that we can learn. Like you said, Crystal, we have so many ladies that's just doing it, that's paving the opportunities for us. And so I ask us today, now that we have so many successful ladies that we can lean in and we can learn from, what is it that you are doing in order to be that next game changer? I don't mind saying it that way, Shirley, all right? Because, we like to change. We don't like to go how rules are, because sometimes rules are made to be broken, right, ladies? Come on,
absolutely.
Let's talk about it.
Yes. So I've always been someone, when I became more of an adult, right? I don't know if I've told my story before, but, growing up in New York City and just having lack of resources, my parents divorced when I was very young, and, I lived with my mom. I had to figure things out on my own, right? And so I was always very curious and very imaginative, right? Because again, I had to figure things out on my own, and I was alone a lot of times, lack of resources or whatnot. But to me, I've always garnered an appreciation for education and for always learning, and for always improving myself, maybe because I was in lack at one point. Maybe because I wanted to change the what do you say, the traditional errors, right, of the way that our family led, right, mentally, and their mindset and all of that. And so I've always had an appreciation for learning, improving, and thus providing and pouring into others the knowledge that I've acquired, because to me is very important, not only growing as a person inside and out, but having those around me have the opportunity to grow so that they can expand, obviously more opportunities for themselves. And so, I love attending events where I'm also, getting together with other like-minded individuals, especially women. I think that when we get into an environment with other like-minded women, we're so much more powerful. And the most important thing right now, and I see it shifting in a very positive way, and is women realizing that we don't have to compete with each other. We can both win. And why can't we win together? Right? You give me some, I'll give you some. We can collaborate, because collaboration is the new currency. And so when I see other women come together, sharing ideas, sharing opportunities, that just makes me really, in a thinking positive mode about what's to come in the future, right? Especially now that we're seeing more women leaders stepping up to the plate. Like, it's the time of the woman now. And like you stated, Queen, before, if you're given an opportunity, take it, figure it out as you go, build that plane while in flight, but don't ever let go of an opportunity, especially about leading, right? And so it's going to be very and very important. It's not going to be easy, obviously, for our vice president, but it's going to be very important how she articulates the vision of how we're going to move forward as a country, right? A lot of people are going to be looking at that, and she is such a natural leader, and I know she can do it. I just want us, for a lot of us, sometimes we tend to get a little underestimated, not only underestimated, but kind of afraid of how we're going to look, or how everything's going to, so to me, it's just very important that now more than ever, we're supporting our women that want to grow and want to give back to our communities. I'm very big in the community, just like Crystal. I'm very big in helping veterans, also veteran women. Keep leading the charge upon, post-military. You can lead yourself, you can lead others, you can create a business. So that's very near and dear to my heart. So just learning, being curious of life, because life is ever evolving and we're ever evolving, right? So we never, ever stop learning or stop at a goal, right? Then what's the next goal? So that's just, for me, it's very important to keep growing and learning.
I love it. It's a way that what you just shared, it's a way that we can apply the information that we've been able to learn and putting it into action. Not only is it important for us to understand when we get that opportunity to take that shot, just step all into it. Because think about this, so many people have had to fail. Michael Jordan, we go down the list of those who had to fail in order for them to find their true success. And if you don't put yourself in play constantly in order for you to fail, you'll never know your success. You will never, ever know how successful you can become. So not only am I excited about this opportunity for her, she's not going to do it alone, because she has all of these phenomenal women, millions around the world, that's truly going to be there. But I do love the fact also that she's joined by having men to support her.
Absolutely.
Also. Crystal?
So you all touched on so many things that I can absolutely say I've used like throughout my journey. So one of the things is always learning. And so my aunt some time ago referred to my parents as pioneers in our family. So they got out there and made a lot of things happen and exposed our family to a lot of things that no one else had done before. And so I've continued that same track. I came behind them because, as we know, we want every generation to do better. So with that, and all the stuff that we have available to us now, I've been able to accelerate that. And how I saw the success that I've had, even without full intention. There are some things that were just a byproduct. Like I got out and started running track and realized how much I loved it. That's what led me to my college decision. That's what led me to the military. I don't know that those same decisions would have been made otherwise. However, they've led me into a federal position, into being an entrepreneur. And so how I was moving along that journey was any opportunity that I had, if I saw someone doing something, I'm like, hey, show me that or talk to me about that so that I can put it away. I don't know if I'll ever use it, but I want to be familiar with it so that I can pull it out and at least speak to it should the opportunity come, or I can actually put it in play. So like Renee said, never say no. So I'm going to say yes to it and give it a chance. I've gone into so many different positions, you know, in the military, Shirley, that they will put you in positions in a minute and you're like, I don't really know what this is, but guess what? We figure it out and get it done. Right. And so it's not, no two situations are the same. So I'm like, if we've successfully done that for someone else, imagine what that looks like by us having intention and doing it for ourselves and ultimately doing it for other people. So wanting to see others win around you and bring them along. I'm looking for every opportunity that I can to expose others to their better in every situation possible that I can have that chance to do that. So whether that's formal education, whether that is on the job training, like hands-on training, whatever that opportunity is, I'm looking for that opportunity to bring others along with us, because that's how we move the needle. If other people didn't do that and they stayed stagnant, we would never be where we are today. And so I just love that you all shared so many things that I can say has been a part of my own journey and likely been a part of a lot of our journeys for those of us that are moving and shaking and doing things. For those of us that are not doing things, I can guarantee you their story looked a lot different on the other side of it, because they're not putting anything behind it. They're sitting back wishing for things to happen. Oh, I wish I had a body like this. I wish I had. But do you? Because you don't know what it takes, or the dedication and the effort that it takes to go behind the things that you're saying you want. If you want it, do the work. And so that is something that I'm always going to do, even when I don't feel like I'm doing the work to my standard, because I can be harder on myself, and I'm sure we all can be. Others are like, you're out there doing a lot of things. They're like, we don't mess with her on X, Y, and Z because she's doing too much. Continue to do too much, because you never know what it looks like on the other side of it. And so when you look back and see how far you've come, that's the part that matters. So I love everything that both of you said. And yeah, keep showing up and doing the work. Be curious, learn, and keep growing. That's what we were put on earth for. And we're going to continue to do that until it's time for us to go. And if we're not, we need to do some checks and get ourselves on the path to get that done and moving in that direction.
Woo, fire.
Yes.
Fire. I love it. Oh, you know, you just like, you pulled out the whip on us. Okay. That was powerful, powerful, powerful. You know, not only do we understand, like what you shared with us earlier, Shirley, is building that stronger community, and that's with relationships. And when empowered women work together, there's no reason why we should ever feel as if we're in competition. There should never be a reason why, unless you give yourself that reason. I think with everything is from communication. And so I'll say, you know, in just within the GW3 community, I feel as if not only do we work towards supporting each other, we also support each other's growth and success. Not a lot of people like to celebrate each other. What's up with that? You know, unfortunately, you know, a lot of reality shows want to bring you down, and we on the other side, it's like, no, baby, let's keep you going. You know, we got to constantly show empathy, because that's some things that you don't see out there. We got to constantly show encouragement. We got to constantly show that we are, like you said, great listeners, because when we're able to allow ourselves to listen, we also allow ourselves to learn. And then from that, it allows ourselves to love, you know. So those are some areas that's really important. And I feel as if in the space that we have created, thank you all for just saying yes, first and foremost, but also saying yes to a bigger calling. Saying yes to not just for ourselves, but understanding how important it is for us to keep on impacting and show people how women can work together. We already see what they think of us, right? We already know what they think of us, but let's show them how we really do work together. And it makes us feel incredibly happy for each other, you know? I would like to say, go back to Harriet Tubman. Harriet Tubman did something that was so phenomenal. Not only did she show people that they were valuable, that they were worthy, but she showed people, I'm not going to leave you behind. You see, she could have made a selfish move. She got moved. She got out. She was away, far away from the plantation, baby. But what she did, she came back. And she didn't do it just one time. She didn't do it 2 times. I mean, she wore those shoes out. And then what she wound up doing is doing an act of greater service to our very own community by lending herself even with the service and going into, I guess it was the Army that she was working alongside with. What was it, the Army? Okay, yeah. So she worked alongside with the Army, going in to help with the troopers. Come on now. So we have to realize our importance is not just what we do, but it's how we continue on impacting and serving others. And that's the call to action right there, guys, the call to action. So I agree, ladies, not only do we need to continue on providing spaces like this, being able to have safe spaces, because a lot of people don't even understand that companies and groups and organizations even exist like us, because they're so used to the competitiveness. I'll share this with you also, because I know, like in certain organizations, even when you're dealing with direct sales, oh my goodness, the competition is so high. Sometimes you even lose your friends. And so what we want to do in fostering richer relationships, we want to make sure we can foster also trust and stronger collaborations. I think that's something that's really important in the process, in the journey. And I'll say this too, in the healing, because a lot of us are so traumatized. We don't even understand. Oh my God, you mean to tell me there's somebody out there that really like me, that want to support me, that really want to be a cheerleader and not take anything away? Oh yeah, there are. But we get so traumatized, we go back to, unfortunately, those bad habits. So I'm so happy that we're having this dialogue today, guys. And I'm hoping that this can also bring about support for others that are tuning in. I'll ask this question. The way that you guys are showing up these days, let me just go there, because you guys are looking fabulous. Yes, Miss Crystal, and yes, Miss Shirley. Share with us, what are some of those beauty tips that you are doing? Come on now, because see, they want to know how we thrive, but they also want to know how we stay beautiful too. I'm just letting you guys know.
We have to lead with style, right? And so we have to be proud of ourselves. And, that is something that I really learned to embrace, just loving myself, embracing my talents, and not being ashamed of it. Right. And you can be humble. I am very, very humble. And a lot of people tell me, well, but I know that at the end of the day, it's for a good cause, because I'm always trying to pay it forward. Some of my beauty tips, of course, it's just hydrating a lot, being very intentional about what you put inside your body, changing the habit of eating processed foods. I do have self-care days, not in self-care. For me, it's not just going to the spa and doing all of this, although I do it. I take a day and I just go to the spa and stay there all day. But mentally resting, reflecting, journaling, just taking care of my mental health as well, which is very big in the veteran space, making sure that I am mentally, physically, spiritually aligned with what I'm here to do. And those are biggest, some of the biggest tips. Of course, I use my nice cream. I have to have my good cream. But yeah, and one thing before we wrap up, I just want to say one more thing before we go, about other women leaders that we also need to shout out now. But yeah, those are my beauty tips.
Love that. Let me see. All right, Miss Crystal.
So what I would say for beauty tips are, of course, one is getting the proper rest. So we like to overlook that. It can be all the products in the world, but ultimately as you know, is what you're putting in your body and what you're doing to your body. So one, again, making sure you're drinking enough water. So whether that is water through direct water or the fruits you're eating, or you're juicing them so that you get in enough water for yourself to be hydrated. Being physically active. So if it's a walk, it's a walk. If it is strength training, it's strength training. And I will say all of us need strength training, especially as we begin to age, and that can look different for everyone, but strength training is a must. And getting in the cardio, because you'll realize that your labs and the way that your body is functioning is much better when you are taking care of it by what you're fueling it with and also how you're putting it to work. So those are always a must for me, and those are consistent for me. I have also been mindful of what I put in my body, as I mentioned. So I stopped eating certain things when I was 14 years old and have not going back to those things, and added additional things to my diet because I would be considered what they call a picky eater, but I'm picky to what is more healthy as opposed to picky to things that we need, and I'm just avoiding those things. So I have never been a cheese eater. I know most people are like blown away about that. I eat pizza from time to time, but I'm very specific about it, and that's an occasional thing as opposed to needing it for everything else. The rest of the stuff with cheese on it, I have not eaten and I do not eat. So, but it's not something that our body needs, just as an example. Another thing is making sure that you do have some type of skin routine with your cleansers and your moisturizers and things of that nature. And so if you're walking around and your skin is dry, it's going to age, it's going to crack, and it won't do as well as what you would like it to do and how you want it to show up. So there are people out there like, I don't use lotion. It doesn't have to be lotion, but some type of moisturizer your skin does need, because you have to take care of your skin. It is a living organism. And so if you take care of it, it will take care of you. So I think that those are always great things to go into. I will go out and also get massages. I do go and get manicures and pedicures. And if I have a special occasion or a photo shoot coming up, I will have makeup done for me from time to time. That is not a skill that I picked up, but I can do the very minimum, eyeliner, mascara, and some lip color, what have you. But it's not something that I feel like I need to do at all times. But again, even if you're doing those things, you want to make sure that you're preparing your skin underneath before and after even doing that, because at the end of it all, when you take it off, if you're not taking care of yourself, it's absolutely going to show up and tell on you. So those are things that I do, and those are the things that help keep us looking youthful. Thank you.
I love it. Oh my goodness. It's so funny what you just shared, the last part. If we don't take care of what we're doing underneath, it will honestly, you could see it through whatever you may think you're doing on the outside as well. One of the best things that we can do, even from a health standpoint, is give our skin and give our skin a break when it comes down to makeup. Some of us, have learned to do less. Traveling with Ebony Fashion Fair, guys, we used to cake that makeup on. You used to slap it on, because when you're on the runway, you got to really hide, the dark circles. You have to hide some of the shadows that would happen while you're on the runway, but also people need to be able to see your face from like miles and miles away. So we literally used to cake that makeup on. And nowadays, guys, you can see my freckles. I usually don't hardly wear makeup like I used to anymore. And I will say it is because of my regimen as well. Sleeping. Please put that on the top of the list in addition to the water. I think water and sleep goes hand in hand, and then drinking the right type of water too. Because one thing I'll say, sometimes if we just drink water without any types of minerals or vitamins in it, it goes straight through our bodies much faster. But when we add where we have some of these little packs that either have elderberry alongside with the vitamins, even like what they say, smart water, some way it has the right electrolytes. I love drinking coconut water, guys. I'm a coconut water queen, and I just really enjoy drinking it. And you can also get the coconut water with, I guess, without the sugars, because of course we got to push away from the sugars as well. But you'll see a difference. You will really see a difference. You got to stay hydrated. And then as we travel, we don't even realize when you go up in those airplanes, and I know, ladies, you can relate to this so much, your body gets dehydrated when you do a lot of flying. And so you have to stay on a hydration side, doing things to give that body that extra boost. And I'll say this because I know I've been doing this now on a regular collagen. I'm going to talk about that collagen. I didn't even realize the major impact that the collagen have. Now, I've had it before, no buts and ifs about it. But now that I'm on it every day, shots of it, I'm seeing not only my joints are, because I used to stand up and my little bones go crack, 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 ladies, okay? Nowadays, the joints are getting stronger. It's helping also stronger nails. And I'll say this too, because, we've all been impacted by watching the computer, on the phone. Our eyes have been challenging. I'm telling you guys, they've been challenged for a whole nother level. So with collagen, it helps with the eyes as well, not only just with the hair and the nails, but it helps to strengthen, the eye health. And we don't even realize how important it is for us to be so take those preventative steps. How we prepare ourselves now, our 10-year version of ourselves is going to be thanking us. It's going to be thanking us. And a lot of people take for granted. I used to take it for granted, guys. I'm going to tell you my secret. I used to do, what is it? Oh, not Remy Martin. What is that other drink? Come on.
I know you said you have the bottles. I forgot what you said it was. Yes, I forgot which one you said it was.
Hennessy? No.
No.
Hennessy.
No.
Hold on. It's so funny. Oh my God.
I forgot what you said it was.
Mm-hmm. Yay.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, guys. I used to do bottles of Grand Marnier, mixed it with pineapple juice, and I mean over the weekend. And next thing you know, it's like another bottle gone. And now my 50 version of myself is seeing it. I'm telling you right now, I can't work out like how I used to. Your body starts catching up differently. Your metabolism slows down. And that's why I say your 10-year version of yourself really is going to feel the difference. So not only is it important for you guys to take care of yourself, please drink plenty of water, get your rest. When it comes to sleeping, about 65% in the world, Crystal, they're not sleeping. 65% of the population are not sleeping. And so what we don't even realize, if we don't sleep, we don't heal. Our body doesn't heal. We don't get the rest that we need. Guess what? We are constantly running at a disadvantage. So not only is it important, guys, it's going to keep you healthier looking and younger looking as well. So I love it. Go ahead.
No, I said absolutely. That's so important. Keeping hydrated and definitely having a good night's sleep.
Yes. Well, ladies, I'm so grateful that we've had this time together, talking about, women that's breaking those barriers. In addition to that, sharing our current affairs, where we stand. And as they say, we are standing with our phenomenal vice president, soon to be president. I don't mind giving her the title as well. Kamala Harris. It's time for the world to see what women can do at the top. I'm ready for it. Are you guys ready for that?
Absolutely. I mean, you see other women geopolitically. I think Mexico had their first woman president now. And then if we're paying attention to what's happening in Venezuela, with the dictatorship and the elections that just happened, and it's a woman now challenging, putting her life on the line for the people of Venezuela. And if you take a look, the whole country is with that woman.
Yes.
It's incredible what's happening now with women leaders now spearheading, putting themselves on the line for their people. It's fascinating to see.
Absolutely. And thanks again. You speak about the presidents. Now, we know we have presidents in some of the other countries, even in Africa as well. Yeah. However, for the United States, it's our time. It is so our time.
We're overdue.
We're way overdue, girl. Way overdue. I'm ready to do my Million Woman March with my kicks, my all-stars with the pearls. Guys, I'm so ready for that. I am so ready for that. Well, ladies, as we're closing the call, I know I had our very own Mary. Mary is all the way there in London. Guys, we're just going to send her big hugs and kisses, because they are, 6 hours ahead of us, and she was working a little earlier. So what we will do, we're going to bring her back. Okay, Mary Martin, the incredible, infamous designer that's going to be slaying for 2024 resurgence. And I know yourself, Shirley, you had an opportunity of seeing some of her pieces on the runway. What did you think about Shirley? What did you think about Mary last year, Shirley?
Beautiful. It was also very beautiful meeting her. She's very animated, very happy. And as in some of my colleagues actually walked the runway with her pieces, and I thought they were so unique and beautiful.
Yes. Well, this year we're doing it even bigger, bolder, and better. We actually have 2 casting calls this year for the models. So we'll be doing a casting call in August, and then we'll be doing another casting call coming up in November, getting everybody ready. She is so excited. We had the opportunity of spending quality time right there in London with her. And so she's going to be bringing a whole entourage over to the United States from London one more time for December 13th, 2024 resurgence, Atlanta City Hall resurgence. So I'm excited about that. But ladies, as we're wrapping up today, I would love to ask you all, because we've had so many great viewers to join us today, what message would you like to share with our listeners in regard to inspiring them to become Sheroes in their own lives? And we'll start with you, Chris.
I'll say, as has been mentioned earlier, so Shirley made a point when she said that as women, we are often, we don't have to be, we are often concerned about how we are showing up. So our decisions can be influenced by that. So what I will say is, don't shrink yourself, show up the way that you are supposed to show up. Whatever that means for you to grow as a person and do more and be better, that's what you do. You move towards that. So you do better, you become who you need to be, and then you get to have what it is that's out there for you. So I'm just excited to say, if you're not in the position that you want to be, get connected to those that are in the direction that you want to go in and start working your way. Follow them, watch what they're doing, and shadow that. You don't have to do it by yourself, and we shouldn't be doing it by ourselves. We weren't put here to do life by ourselves. However, that doesn't mean if you're not connected to someone that you don't make any actions whatsoever, you don't take any steps forward. So get out there, get moving, find yourself a target. And if that target changes a bit along the way, that's okay. The point is that you're seeing progress. And as long as you're seeing progress, you're doing what you're designed to do. And that is what I'll leave you all with. Thank you.
Shirley?
My message is 3 things: be courageous, be resilient, and be limitless. Those 3 things follow that. And no matter how small of a step you're taking, is still taking you towards your greatness.
Excellent. And my message is, you have to embrace your uniqueness. We are not here to be each other. We are here to truly stand and love the skin that we are in. And you got to take those risks, guys. Not only you want to take risks, they'll be calculated risks, but you want to be able to support your dreams. If you don't take that leap of faith towards what you're so destined for, you'll never know. So with that, not only do we understand the importance of not being afraid to speak up, okay? Don't be afraid to speak up, and be ready to challenge the as they say, challenge the status quo. Because one thing we know for sure, every day that we lift up, we rise up to soar, we are constantly becoming the best version of ourselves each and every day. So those are my message. That's my encouragement to you all, because guys, we truly want to see you win. And as Alita would say, our amazing mayor, champions winning on purpose every day. And you already know our theme song is, all we do is win, 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 no matter what. No matter what.
Right.
So yes. So thank you, Shirley. Thank you, Crystal, for sharing not only your love, but sharing your insights with today's listeners, your inspiration, and also your experience. I would say that, because you guys are doing such phenomenal jobs in being able to be conduits and catalysts for not only women that are in the, in as former veterans, but also women that are taking that ownership and that opportunity of becoming a veteran. As I share, someone in the Army, my sister is in the Army, and so we have so many others. I know for sure Lolita's husband is in the Army as well. And so we just want to say we thank you for your service. We thank you for your commitment, and we thank you for your love and really pouring back into our community as well. So ladies, it's been another wonderful day. Remember, women empowering women. That's right. Women empowering women is the key to unlocking not only a brighter future, but truly one that can show that we can come together, collaborate, and celebrate each other. So thank you for joining us for MUSES, the podcast. Thank you,
Thank
ladies.
you.
We
Bye.
really appreciate you guys so much. And we'll be closing out. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.